Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into a whole range of sources to really get a handle on the big tech trends for 2025.
That's right. The idea is to cut through the noise, pull out what's genuinely important for you.
Exactly. We've got a tech trends report, a geopolitical calendar for today, May 3rd, 2025, even some social media chatter happening right now.
And a few other bits and pieces, too.
Yeah. So our mission really is to give you a clear, concise view of this technological landscape as it's unfolding. You know, what opportunities are out there, how things might shift.
And how these shifts aren't just happening in a vacuum. They're tied into society, geopolitics.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
Okay, so let's dive in. First thing that just jumps out is AI. It's everywhere.
Absolutely. Generative AI in particular, the stuff that creates text, images, audio, even simulations now.
And the numbers are staggering. The market's projected to hit almost, $668 billion by 2030.
With a compound annual growth rate over 24%. I mean, that's explosive growth.
It really is. And it's not just abstract numbers, is it? There's this stat. 71% of leaders are more likely to hire someone with Gen AI skills.
Even if they have less experience overall, that's a huge signal.
It really is. It suggests, AI literacy is becoming almost fundamental, like basic computer skills, maybe?
Could be heading that way. And then there's this idea of frontier firms from the Microsoft Work Trend Index.
Right, the company's really pushing AI integration.
Yeah, pushing it deep. They're talking about hybrid teams, humans, and AI agents working side by side, like digital teammates.
Digital teammates.
Yeah.
And the confidence level is high. Especially, the report mentioned Thailand. 90% expect to use AI agents soon.
Within 12 to 18 months, yeah. And the global average is still really high, 82%. This isn't some far-off future thing.
No, it's happening now. And it's changing how work gets done, particularly in customer service, marketing.
Product development, too. Embedding AI right into the core processes.
It almost flips the script, doesn't it? The idea that any employee could become a sort of boss for AI agents.
That's the potential shift, yeah. Redesigning processes, building multi-agent systems.
In Thailand, they mentioned training the AIs, managing them. That's a whole new set of tasks.
It is, which naturally brings up the whole trust and safety aspect. AI to RISM.
Trust, risk, and security management.
Right.
Making sure it's adopted responsibly.
Absolutely. Transparency, security, it's crucial. And interestingly, AI itself is becoming a key tool in cybersecurity.
For spotting threats, responding faster.
Exactly.
Okay, so AI is dominant, but what's enabling all this?
Yeah.
Infrastructure, right?
Definitely. 5G expansion is massive here. We're talking potential speeds, 10 times faster than 4G?
Up to 20 gigabits per second peak rates, the report said. That enables so much more than just faster video streaming.
Oh, yeah. Think about IoT, augmented reality, autonomous vehicles, things that need instant communication, low latency.
And that ties into edge computing too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Processing data closer to the source.
Precisely. Instead of sending everything to the cloud and back, you process it right there, on the edge.
Which is vital for things like self-driving cars or complex factory automation.
Absolutely. Milliseconds matter in those cases.
So how are we actually going to experience these changes? VR is getting a big upgrade. They call it VR 2.0.
Yeah, better displays, much better tracking, so it feels more real, more immersive.
And it's moving beyond just gaming into training.
Therapy even. And then there's AR, augmented reality.
Layering digital info onto the real world.
Right. And it's becoming more practical, moving into retail, like seeing how furniture looks in your room.
Or real estate, education, bridging that physical-digital gap.
And then you combine them into XR, extended reality, VR, AR, MR.
Extra reality, where digital things actually interact with the physical world.
Exactly. And that's huge for training in risky fields, healthcare, aviation, manufacturing.
Practicing surgery or flying a plane without any actual danger. That's powerful.
Definitely a game changer for skills development.
And underpinning a lot of this is the sheer number of connected devices.
Yeah.
The Internet of Things, IoT.
Smart cities are a big area here, using sensors for traffic, energy, public safety, making things run more efficiently.
And the projection is, 30 billion IoT devices by 2025?
Something like that, yeah. It's a vast network.
And how we interact is changing, too. Voice tech is getting much better.
More sophisticated, more integrated in our homes, cars, public spaces.
Making tech more accessible, hands-free. It mentioned 62% of people using voice speakers for shopping monthly.
Yeah, that shows it becoming pretty mainstream for transactions, not just asking for the weather.
Also interesting is the rise of digital twins.
Ah, yes, the virtual replicas.
Of factories or even whole cities. for simulation and testing.
Exactly. You can test changes or optimize processes in the virtual world before you spend real money or disrupt anything in the physical world. Very useful in manufacturing, urban planning.
Looking a bit further ahead, quantum computing keeps coming up.
Still early days, relatively speaking, but the potential is enormous.
For breaking encryption, yeah, but also things like drug discovery, simulating molecules.
Things that are just impossible for current computers, even supercomputers, solving fundamentally different kinds of problems.
And then there's neuromorphic computing,
Yeah.
mimicking the brain.
Right. Designing chips that work more like our neural networks. They're incredibly efficient for certain tasks, like pattern recognition or processing sensory data.
And use much less power, potentially.
That's a major benefit, yeah.
It's really interesting how all this tech is also focusing more on health and well-being.
Definitely seeing that convergence. Personalized medicine is a great example.
Using your specific genetic data, lifestyle factors.
To tailor diagnoses and treatments.
Sure.
Especially powerful in areas like cancer treatment, oncology.
And wearable tech just keeps getting better. Tracking more data, giving more insights.
Continuous monitoring for preventive health. Spotting potential issues earlier.
Plus, telemedicine just keeps expanding access.
Huge for convenience and for reaching people who might not have easy access to specialists otherwise.
We should also mention biotech and agriculture.
Right, improving crops, making them more resilient, especially with, climate change pressures.
And speaking of climate change, sustainability is another huge driver here.
Absolutely. Green energy tech is improving, getting cheaper.
But also sustainable technology is a broader trend, designing things to be more efficient, use fewer resources.
Yes, reducing energy consumption, cutting emissions. It's driven partly by regulations, but also by consumers demanding it.
So, looking even further out, what frontiers are being pushed? Autonomous vehicles. They're still progressing.
Steady progress, yeah. Particularly seeing applications in public transport, freight logistics. The potential safety and efficiency gains are still a big driver.
Space tourism, too, keeps edging closer to being, well, a real thing for more people.
It's becoming more commercially viable step by step.
And nanotechnology, working at the atomic level.
Huge potential there. Drug delivery, creating entirely new materials with amazing properties.
Then there's synthetic media, the AI-generated stuff.
Opens up creative possibilities for sure in entertainment, education.
But raises big questions too, right? About deepfakes, authenticity.
Definitely major ethical considerations there. And alongside all this, robotics just keeps advancing.
Doing more complex tasks in more places. Factories, hospitals.
Even potentially in our homes eventually. More sophisticated, more capable robots.
Okay, so that's the tech landscape. But let's ground this in today, May 3rd, 2025. What else is happening?
Well, according to the geopolitical calendar source, there are elections today. Federal election in Australia.
Where Labor might lose its majority, but probably still form government.
That seems to be the projection, maybe a minority government. And also a general election in Singapore.
Where the ruling PRP is expected to win again.
Seems likely, yes.
And today is also World Press Freedom Day.
Yeah.
And Constitution Day in Poland.
Right. But looking at the social media snapshot, what's buzzing today seems to be immigration concerns.
In Ireland and Germany specifically, according to the source's top X posts.
Yeah, those seem to be the hot topics generating online discussion right now. It's a reminder that alongside all this tech progress, these social and political issues are very much present.
Absolutely. Technology doesn't exist in a bubble. And there was also a mention of a Relief Web report.
Yes, on children in armed conflict for this month, May 2025, highlighting really grave situations in places like Burkina Faso and Myanmar.
Including increased use of explosive weapons. It's a stark contrast, isn't it? Puts things in perspective.
It really does. It shows the complex world these technologies are entering and the challenges they might, potentially help address or even exacerbate in some ways.
And one more interesting piece in a GOTA survey about women travelers in Asia.
Yeah, showing shifts in preferences, more interest in cultural travel, family trips, but also solo travel is rising.
Which connects back to tech, right? How the travel industry uses technology for bookings, personalization.
Exactly, catering to these evolving demographics and tastes.
It's just so clear how interconnected everything is. 5G enables better AR.
Which enables new training methods.
And AI drives discoveries in medicine, but also needs that infrastructure.
And robust security. It's a whole ecosystem.
And it all impacts jobs, doesn't it? The skills needed are changing fast.
That's right. The report mentioned those top 20 trending jobs. Things like AI specialist, quantum computing engineer, data privacy officer.
Roles that maybe didn't even exist a few years ago. It really highlights the need for, continuous learning, upskilling.
Definitely. Adaptability is key.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. Key takeaways from this deep dive. AI's influence is just massive and growing.
The infrastructure 5G, edge computing, is absolutely fundamental.
We're seeing this blurring of digital and physical worlds through VR, AR, XR,
A big focus on health and sustainability driving innovation.
and continued exploration into new frontiers like space, nanotech, advanced robotics.
And hopefully, by looking at this alongside the current events and social context, you've got a richer picture of 2025's technological landscape.
Right. So, a final thought for you, the listener. Thinking about all these trends, AI, connectivity, immersive tech, health, sustainability, which one do you think will have the biggest impact on your own daily life in the next few years?
And what questions does that bring up for you? Something to chew on.
Definitely worth thinking about.